Hi, friends. A very good morning. I welcome you all to the PSM Simplified lectures. And it's the first day of 2018 with us. It's a lovely morning, and I wish that you all achieve your health goals. I wish that you all achieve your professional goals, spiritual goals, in the zest and the pursuit to achieve excellence in life and maybe contribute much more to the society each day and every day. So, with those wishes, let us start with the on public demand. Let us start with universal immunization program. Lot many students had requested for this UIP session. So here we start with the universal immunization program. As we all know that at birth, the first vaccine that we give is BCG plus oral polio vaccine plus hepatitis B. That is the zero dose. At 6 week, 10 week, 14 weeks, we give DPT plus hepatitis B plus H influenza B plus oral polio vaccine. Then at 9 months, we will give measles plus vitamin A. At 16 to 24 months, we give measles shot 2, measles second dose plus a DPT booster back again. 5 years, it's DPT booster, and then at 10 years you have only tetanus toxoid. So that's a commonly known universal immunization program. So MCQs on this. The first thing that we need to remember, there have been a couple of changes under the mission Indradhanush. Under the mission Indradhanush, there have been a couple of changes. The change number one is that all these vaccines, they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they have been combined together in a single vaccine known as pentavalent vaccine. Second, alongside all these 6, 10, 14, we are giving a rotavirus 1, rotavirus 2, and rotavirus 3 vaccine at 6, 10, and 14 weeks. Change number 3, measles 2. Instead, we give measles and rubella vaccine. So it's a MR vaccine which is given instead of measles second dose. Change number 4. That's a controversial change. Like some states are doing it at 8 weeks, some are doing it at 14 weeks, some are doing at 6 and 14. So, anyways, the point to be noted is we have started injectable polio vaccine. So IPV is given at 6 weeks and 14 weeks, or it is also given as fractional IPV at 14 weeks, intradermal injections. So these are your couple of changes. Plus, so change number 1, change number 2 is rotavirus, change number 3 is measles rubella, change number 4 is IPV, and change number 5 is at 9 months. 16-24 months, we give a JE1 and a JE2 vaccine. So these are a couple of 5 changes which are important from the universal immunization program under the mission Indradhanush. Mission Indradhanush. So I just believe these have been the updates, and I believe that what is important for you to remember is the time duration up till which we are supposed to give the vaccines. As we know that BCG vaccine can be given till 1 year of age. OPV vaccine is till 5 years of age. Hepatitis B is till 1 year of age. DPT is till 7 years of age. OPV we have discussed. Rotavirus is newly included. Measles is till 5 years of age. So these are your year of ages vaccine which we can give up till what age? JE, you can just remember that we are supposed to give JE till 10 years, so there are like different guidelines saying different things. But JE has to be given within the first 2 years. We have to give 2 doses as a part of the program. Rotavirus newly introduced vaccine, and it's supposed to be given within the first 18 months. So right now there are different guidelines, and we need more evidence-based data on these newly introduced vaccines. So all these points are there which we need to remember. So a couple of students had asked me, like, it's important for us to remember from the MCQ point of view also that the MCQ will ask us which vaccine has to be given to an unimmunized child. So if a child who's coming at 5 years, he's never been immunized. The point to be remembered is two things. Point number one is that why this child is coming such late time. At 5 years, he's still unimmunized. That means either your program was not very good, or probably the mother was not having the awareness or the information regarding the vaccines, out of which the later part, that is the mother not having information, has a very low chance or bleak chance. Most importantly, the children would not come to attend the immunization clinic because they don't want to, and therefore now if they are coming as unimmunized children, you need to leave aside your rule of not giving two live vaccines together or things like these. We need to give whatever is due. So in case of an unimmunized child, so in case of an unimmunized child, please remember these are some salient features that I'm trying to tell you, that in case of unimmunized child, the first thing is that the guidelines is no two live vaccines are to be given together. So, having said this, no two live vaccines are to be given together. In case of unimmunized child, do we stick to the guideline? We say no. There is no sticking to the guideline. So, what do we do? Whatever is due has to be administered. So, whatever is due has to be administered, leaving aside this rule of no two live vaccines are given together. Preferably, we divide into schedules, but whatever is due, you have to answer in your MCQ whatever is due. Sometimes another question comes that in case of unimmunized child, if a child is, let's say, coming at maybe, let's say, the child is coming at this time period, let's say the child is coming at 12 months of age. So if the child is at 1 year of age and he's unimmunized, what do we do? So obvious answer, that in case you get a child who's unimmunized at 1 year, what are the vaccines which are pending? As per the program, the vaccine which are pending are BCG, then you have OPV, then you have hepatitis B, then you have DPT, then you have measles. So all these vaccines are due, and of course a vitamin A supplement has to be given. So all these vaccines are. Now the question would be, don't think that we won't give BCG and OPV. We have to give in a child who's unimmunized. That the guideline has we have already discussed. Sometimes there's another MCQ. The MCQ relates to the fact that which is the preferred vaccine. So which is the preferred vaccine, or in case, like we all know that so many vaccines difficult to give as a single shot. So let's say the MCQ says which is the first vaccine you would like to give. So of course, please remember the guideline is that the first vaccine, preferred vaccine, will be the vaccine which is due at that age. So please remember which is due at that age, we have to give that. What I mean to say that if a child is coming at 1 year of age, the due vaccine is measles. So the preferred vaccine is not BCG, it's not OPV, not hepatitis, but the preferred vaccine has to be measles, plus we give OPV plus vitamin A. So these are oral vaccines that you of course answer, but just see for the options, and most of the times they'll ask you questions between around 1 year, like the child is 1 year and 2 months, child is 14 months, 15 months. They'll give you questions like these. So what is due at that, whatever is due we give. At 9 months the most preferred vaccine is measles, otherwise whatever is due we are supposed to give. So that was regarding the unimmunized child. Next is couple of questions they've asked us in what are the contraindications of vaccines. So just I'll just have a brief, in a very brief note, I would like to tell you that there is no absolute contraindications for vaccines. Why am I saying that? Vaccines, just try to understand, vaccine is for what? Vaccine is for prevention of disease. Now, why on earth would you have a contraindication for prevention of disease that you want to give the disease? Are you understanding? So there's no point of having a contraindication for prevention There is no contraindication for prevention. Please remember, there's no absolute contraindication. The only absolute contraindication is, of course, that makes sense, is hypersensitivity reaction to a previously administered vaccine, hypersensitivity. Obviously, you might be thinking that the MCQs are not so easy in these. So they'll ask you different scenarios, contraindications in case of HIV. So that's a kind of a controversial MCQ. Try to understand that in case of HIV, I'm taking up a very sensitive point, which of course I take a lot of time in the classes. So I'll just be very brief and to the point over here in this small video, that in case of HIV, no vaccine is contraindicated. Trust me, in case of HIV, no vaccine is contraindicated. In fact, all the vaccines are to be given. Give all vaccines, including the live vaccines. So you need to give a hepatitis B, you need to give BCG, you need to give measles, OPV, everything. So we give everything. But then the MCQ would say, in case of a symptomatic. So if they have not mentioned anything, try to understand that the examiner is not asking you, don't presume that it is a symptomatic HIV. If the question is saying in a HIV infected child, in a HIV infected newborn, what are the vaccines we're giving? Please answer all the vaccine. That's what you need to know, because that's what the examiner was actually trying to ask you. So please remember, in the symptomatic child, in a symptomatic HIV, that he's clinically showing signs of HIV. That means his probably the CD4 counts are too low. So in those cases of symptomatic HIV, please remember, no live vaccine has to be given. So we treat them first, no live vaccines, we treat them first, and then you are supposed to give them vaccines. Similarly, for any immunocompromised state, any immunocompromised individuals who's clinically evident. So clinically, signs and symptoms of immunocompromise, any severe malnutrition, no live vaccine is to be given. So please remember, no live vaccine in immunocompromised, severe malnutrition, or symptomatic HIV. HIV positive child born to a HIV positive mother, no vaccine is contraindicated, all vaccines are given. A second important point they'll ask us about contraindication is a couple of times about the pregnancy. So I'm just trying to clear a controversial point again a very hot topic among the students. So let's clear it on. Pregnancy, we know it's a physiological state where the reproduction is taking, where the some cells are going to form into a human being. So obviously, in pregnancy, no live vaccine is given. No live vaccine can be is administered in pregnancy. All live vaccine is contraindicated. All live vaccines are contraindicated. Now, point to be remembered, except yellow fever in India, because the guidelines say that yellow fever has a epidemic potential. Yellow fever can be given in special circumstances where the travel is inevitable and we have to weigh the risk and benefit. So please remember, most commonly they'll ask you about no live vaccine is administered, yellow fever in special circumstances. So with that, we maybe close it off. I would like to discuss a few important points about these vaccines. uh, One was regarding a question about the plague vaccine. So please remember, plague vaccine is a subcutaneous or intramuscular. We give two doses of vaccine between an interval of with interval of 7 to 14 days. So so immunity would develop after 7 to 14 days. So the immunity develops after 1 week and lasts for 6 months. So there had been a question on the plague vaccine, that it is given subcutaneous or or intramuscular. Remember, it is two doses. The question was, it has to be given in an interval of how much? So that's all for the plague vaccine. Please remember, there could be a potential question on typhoid vaccine. Typhoid vaccine has of two types. You can have a oral typhi or a polysaccharide VI polysaccharide vaccine for typhoid vaccine. So the oral typhi vaccine is given. It's a oral typhi strain 21A. So it's oral Typhoid vaccine strain 21A, which is given on 1, 3, and 5th day. So these are oral vaccines, and they are given for protection from typhoid. The protective immunity is achieved within 7 days. It is achieved within 1 week of third dose. So that was, and VI polysaccharide is to given to all people who are aged more than 5 years, and it is a polysaccharide vaccine given subcutaneous or intramuscular, and that's it. So that's it for a small update on immunization. Any questions that you have, please feel free. Any questions if you have, please feel free to ask me on Mukhmohit Mukhmohit's community and medicine discussions. So you're free to ask any number of questions on them, and you should be asking because that's how we inculcate more discussions. And any material you want, you're most welcome to WhatsApp us on our team number 8699014009. So that's for the PSM Simplified lectures, and I wish you all a very happy new year and all the best for your future endeavors. Thank you so much. Have a nice time.